Hello YouTube, Fuzz here, welcome back to the Zodiac Age. In today's episode we're going to be taking on our next elite hunt quest for Mont Blanc, known as Fishy Dreams, and the mark is going to be Ixion. So I hope you enjoy watching, and stay tuned. So in order to complete this hunt, we first of all have to make sure we've got access to Pharos Sub Terra, which the only way we can do that is by completing the Pharos storyline. So if you haven't done that yet, please do go and check out my Let's Play guide. The link is in the description on how to make your way through the story section of that place. And once we've done so, a couple of elite hunts come up from the clan, so we can go and pick those up, which I've already done. And one of those is called Fishy Dreams, which is going to be the order of today. And if we just go on to hunts, we can see it's number 43. And we're going to be taking on Ixion, a staple from previous Final Fantasy games. And the petitioner for this is the Whitecap Wench, who we can find in the Whitecap of Baffleheim Port. So just make your way down here. The orange crystal's up there, and you're coming into this area here. It's the same place where the notice board is for this particular town as well. So go ahead and find the Whitecap Wench over here by the counter. We'll speak to them. There is a legend of a beast that dwells on areana named Ixion, said to haunt the minds of men. I think it is the cause of my suffering. Thinking the beast's death might give me rest, I brought my petition to the clans. Ever since I am plagued by hunters claiming to have slain Ixion. Yet my ears still ring and my sleep grows no less troubled. Will you be the one to truly slay it? I'm your man. Thank you. Let me tell you more of this legend. Long ago, a dire stallion there was, stabled here in Belfenheim. Each night it would kick and neigh so loudly that none could sleep. They would turn it out on the Sorobi steppe, only to have it return. Finally, they set it adrift in a boat whereafter it washed ashore at Areana. Ever since you can hear its cries on sleepless nights, the cries of Ixion. Please, slay this monster. I will know no true rest until this is done. And so we have our latest hunt. And this particular mark is located in the Sub Terra region of Pharos, so we're going to head over to the orange crystal and teleport to Pharos at this particular moment in time. Okay, here we are back at Pharos. Now, our mark in question, Ixion, can actually appear on any of the 3 Sub Terra floors. So he can appear on Penumbra, Umbra or Abyssal. Now, we've only actually explored properly in this guide so far Penumbra. So I'm going to show you a trick where you can force him to spawn on one particular floor. And I actually recommend fighting him on Penumbra anyhow, because he's easier. He has half the health than he does if he spawns on the other 2 floors. So, unfortunately, however you try and find Ixion, he is a bit of a nuisance to try and get him to spawn. So this is the trick I'm going to recommend. Use the lift and teleport to Penumbra. Now, Ixion will not appear when there's other enemies. So what we want to do is head down to the floor and see if other enemies come and attack us. If they do, we know that Ixion isn't going to be there. So what we do then is use the elevator to go back up to the top, and then head back straight down again and see if the enemies are there. And we're going to rinse and repeat. Unfortunately, the animation and loading time on the elevator isn't that quick. We can see there's enemies, so we know that Ixion isn't here. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to turn Gambits off for my party leader to make this process just a little bit easier. And we're going to try and use the lift here. And we're going to head back to the first floor. And we're just going to rinse and repeat. It can take a while, unfortunately. Well, this was only actually my very next time down, believe it or not. So I probably didn't even need to cut the video there, but what's done is done. But it seems there's no enemy spawning, so I'm kind of hoping that's a good sign. That we're going to be seeing our first taste of a Ixion in a moment. Aha! Ha 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 ha! That was nice and quick. Ah, very, very good. So first things first, I'm going to sort out a better party to take this guy on. We've been using my B team quite recently, so we'll bring the A team back in. And I'm just going to see if we can steal anything from this guy. Then you'll know whether to bother or not. So just use the usual setup. This guy does like to hit with strong thunder spells, as you could probably expect from his from who he is. Ixion is the Thunder Aeon. We can turn Steel on for both our characters here. And he also likes to hit with some status ailments as well, such as Silence. So I would recommend using the Rubber Suit or the Gendarm Shield, if at all possible. We've got a Storm Crystal, so after all that, nothing really that exciting. I am going to go ahead now and use ribbons all round. It's nice having 6 ribbons. We can equip them easily without having to unequip them off out of the party members. And we'll just make sure that we're going to be trying to guard against thunder as much as possible. Do I have a Rubber Suit? And if I do, can we use it? So that's the Rubber Suit. And Ash and Varn are going to be using the Gendarm, so we're going to be completely guarded against thunder here. And this guy has 300,000 health, I believe, but I think it's half. It's less on this one, on this floor. I think it's 150,000, so we do need to turn Steel off. But if you fight him on the other 2 floors, then he will have double that health. So I don't expect him to be too much of an issue in taking down. He does have some high defences though, and high magic defences. He's quite mean looking, isn't he? You can tell him apart from the others that spawn in this area, the other horse type enemies, because he's a lot bigger. So it's nice of him to heal us with his Thundergar spell, of course. And he does like to teleport by the looks of things, so just try and reposition your characters when he does so. If you're going to struggle with this boss, then just use the usual tactics of decoying a character, giving them a bubble belt, keeping them healed, etc, etc. But I'm not bothering with that since we're doing alright here. Oh, he cast Blizzardgar as well. Balthier didn't like that, did he? And his defences have increased as well, by the looks of things. But he's going down, slowly but surely. 1,000 to 2,000 health at a time. There we go. Ixion has been vanquished. Wonderful stuff. So that's how you can force him to appear on the first floor, despite the fact that he does have a chance of appearing on every floor. And once you've killed him, it's just a case now of heading back to the Petitioner, as usual, and handing the quest in. Right, so here we are back in the White Cap. And we'll just go and tell the White Cap wench the good news here. I can sleep again. You must have slain Ixion. I learned of another who suffered from Ixion's curse. He was so grateful to be free of it, he gave me a treasured family sword. So it sounds like we're going to be getting a nice reward here. Fine though it be, I've no use for the sword. I'm glad enough to be able to rest once more. You should take it. I'm sure you will put it to better use than I ever could. And we get 3,000 gil, some sapping bolts, and a Ragnarok. And that brings us to the end of the quest. I used to dread the fall of night, but no more. It is safe to dream again. Well folks, thanks for stopping by today, and do come back soon for more FF12. See you then.